And welcome to a new episode of Physical Media Format here on the Movie Dawgs channel, folks. And as you can see here, yes, I am an, what you call an ex-Phillies fan, or whatever you want to call it. But I am going to be reviewing the X-Files movie, Fight the Future, on VHS. This is its first run VHS release. Believe if I'm not mistaken, the movie came out in 95, 96. And we'll check it out during the course of reviewing this film. You see here on the bottom, digitally remastered, THX sound quality here on the bottom, if you can see down there, yep. And of course, you know, this was not the theatrical poster. The theatrical poster was much cooler than this. This was just VHS release poster. I almost bought this poster at a video store, but someone beat me to it. But anyway, I waited a long time for this. I was a big fan of the show in the 90s. It's either I was watching Star Trek Next Generation in first run syndication, or I was watching the X-Files on Fox. And it would come on Friday nights, I think, at first. So I didn't really do much on the weekends. Luckily, I didn't have a girlfriend back then to interfere in my X-Files time. And especially whenever it was on syndication, I was always watching the reruns, and of course, you know, a few times when I go in the hospital after having a seizure and everything, I'd get to stay overnight, and of course, TNT would play an endless amount of X-Files television episodes on reruns on their shows back to back, probably like at least a 4 or 5 hour block worth of them. I can't remember, but anyway, this was the big movie. Came out, I want to say, after year 5 or season 5 of the X-Files television show. It answered a lot of questions, and also left us with a lot of new questions. But again, I love this movie. You didn't have to be a fan to. I mean, it was perfectly well orchestrated. You didn't have to be a fan of the show or watch the show. You can watch it in its entirety and still kind of understand what was going on. And then if you want to, you can backtrack to the television show. It brought a lot of people to the show itself and everything. Those who came in late watched this movie first, and then went back and watched the first 5 seasons. But anyway, this picks up a few months after the season finale, where the X-Files was disbanded and Fox and Mulder were taken off the X-Files. And anyway, it just, you know, coincides with the origins of the Black Ooze, and that it's been on Earth for many centuries. You have all the special motifs of the X-Files show. You have the cigarette smoking man, Skinner's in the lone gunman make a good cameo in this film. You got the Syndicate, they show up. Martin Landau, who's fresh off his Oscar win from Ed Wood, is in this film, featured in this film as well. As is, as you can see, David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson in their respective roles of Mulder and Scully. And I absolutely love this. And I remember when the trailers came out, you know, back then when MSNBC and Fox News and stuff, you know, did, you know, they just reported on news. They didn't report on all the crazy hoopla of everybody whining and complaining, as everybody's doing nowadays. But anyway, person stumps their toe, it's on Fox News and MSNBC in the heartbeat of a second nowadays. But anyway, again, this little boy right here, it's one of the, he actually is the main star in the third Fast and the Furious movie, Tokyo Drift. So, you know, when you watch that movie, you kind of recognize him a little bit. That's the reason why. Now, the movie itself is called Fight the Future. Now, the posters actually, some of them say Fight the Future, but for some reason, it doesn't say that on, or in the movie credits, or on the outer shells of the packaging either. The DVD versions and Blu-ray versions actually say Fight the Future, like right underneath here. But that is the name of the movie. It's called X-Files Fight the Future. But anyway, got a new cool little way they did the X-Files logo. It's different from the television show, as you can see here. I actually have an episode of the television series on VHS too. I'll show eventually, probably during Halloween time. But anyway, here on the top as well, And there's 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. But again, you know, 2 thumbs up by Siskel and Ebert, which shocked me and everything. I didn't know they were, you know, fans of the show either. But, you know, those who know who Siskel and Ebert are, they were the critics of the time. They had a great show. Everybody watched it that was a movie fan and wanted their input and everything. You know, as in, because of Siskel and Ebert, I think Quentin Tarantino's career lasted as long as it has, folks. They gave it 2 thumbs up. You can see that FBI Special Agent Bashal, who was also on the spin-off show Millennium, makes his final appearance in here. But I think he shows up again in some way, somehow. I'm not really sure on a future episode. I'm not 100% sure, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Again, here's a scene of right here, down here with David Duchovny and holding Gillian Anderson in the scene where they're escaping at the spacecraft at the end. And here is a scene taken from the beginning of the movie where somebody's infected with the black ooze or the black oil. Back down here and everything, you see a silhouette of Mulder and Scully, a traditional silhouette, which actually was on the original posters. Again, I wish that they had used that for all the artworks. But again, it's this movie was really fun. As I said, you don't have to be a fan to really understand it. Kind of brings you to what the way today's is. You know, it's about the aliens were going to introduce a plague. The plague to end all plagues. And, you know, and of course, nowadays what's going on, a lot of people think that's what's happening now. But anyway, here's the sticker. No sticker on the side, but it is back in back in the 90s, the Fox / 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment logo stickers were. You know, that purple bluish tint with the green in the middle and then the rest white. So, this said by then the whole Fox thing was pretty much, Fox video was pretty much taken out. You know, it's in really great condition, this VHS. I played it just to see how well it worked, and it worked really damn good. I never owned it while it was on VHS. I don't know why, but when it did come out on DVD, it was one of the first DVDs I ever bought, and I still have that very same DVD. The soundtrack, again, you know, I don't want to turn this into a episode of the Movie Dawgs episode, but you know, I own the soundtrack. You know, you know, you can see here, even though the soundtrack does say right here, Fight the Future. It's the X-Files album, Fight the Future. And of course, those who are, you know, fans of the X-Files, you know, Green Day, or not Green Day, but Foo Fighters contributed to both the X-Files albums. You can see here that's notes in the key of X, which is songs that were showcased on the series of the X-Files. I highly, if you ever find this, download it. This is a great album. I love this album. It's got one of the first Foo Fighters songs on there, and it's got Sheryl Crow. It's got the theme song to the X-Files, even the PM Dawn, if you know who that is, remix, and it's even got Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds' Red Right Hand. But again, one day I'll probably review that. But anyway, folks, again, if you have seen this movie, and now, if you hadn't, and now realized, oh my God, there's an X-Files movie, there's actually 2 X-Files movies. One called I Want to Believe, which is kind of a standoff episode, or movie, that happened about 6 years after the show ended, I think. But anyway, folks, tell me about your memories of this movie. The first time you saw it in theaters. That's what I did. Saw it in theaters opening day, and you know, to me, it's, you know, just a really wonderful, fun film, especially if you're a big X-Files fan. And it was a gift to the X-Files fans, the loyal X-Files fans. This movie was a gift by creator Chris Carter. All right, folks. Well, you let me know what was your favorite X-Files episode too. Mine was the episode where they were mimicking the show Cops. But again, folks, support this channel by hitting that thumbs up, like this video. That helps us out a lot. If you hadn't yet, subscribe to this channel. It's up here somewhere. And hit that notification bell while you're at it. Also, while you're at it, folks, check out our sponsors. You can go to my playlist called "And a Word from Our Sponsors." Please check them out and check out the links on them below. Alright, folks. Well, that's all the time I got here for physical media format here on the Movie Dawgs channel. Again, folks, thanks for watching. And please, please keep on watching. Bye.
The operation, under the working title Purity Control, had been launched in 1948. Its original conception, the brainchild of German scientists given immunity themselves for war crimes, and allowed to continue the eugenic experiments that were Hitler's dark legacy. The syndicate had begun as a subset of a shadow intelligence agency whose original orders were to create plausible denial and an effective cover-up of purity control. But through 50 years, numerous U.S. and UN administrations, the principles began to wrest control, accumulating power and influence across international